A lot of people are successful in ways that don't feel good anymore. They're capable, they're reliable, they've built something that works. From the outside, things look stable, sometimes even impressive. And yet inside, there's a quiet sense of distance, a feeling that something isn't quite lining up the way it used to. If that resonates, I want to name something clearly at the start. There's nothing wrong with you. What you're experiencing isn't failure. It's often the result of having outgrown an old way of organizing your life. One of the reasons alignment can feel harder than success is because success is usually defined externally. You're rewarded for output, for consistency, for meeting expectations. Alignment, on the other hand, is internal. It asks a different set of questions. Not, does this work, but does this fit? Not, can I do this, but what does this cost me? Those are quieter questions, and they don't come with immediate applause. Many people I work with didn't lose clarity because they stopped caring. They lost clarity because they became very good at overriding themselves. They learned how to push through discomfort, how to stay composed, how to adapt. Those skills are useful. They help you succeed. But if you rely on them for too long without checking in, they can slowly disconnect you from your own internal signals. Alignment doesn't disappear suddenly. It erodes gradually. You stop noticing what drains you because you're used to it. You stop listening to resistance because you've learned how to endure it. You stop asking certain questions because you're afraid of what they might require. And over time, what once felt purposeful starts to feel mechanical. That's not a personal flaw. It's a very human response to responsibility and pressure. Another reason alignment feels harder than success is because alignment asks for honesty before it asks for action. Success often rewards momentum. Alignment asks you to slow down long enough to tell the truth, and that can feel unsettling. Because when you slow down, you start to notice things. You notice where you feel tight, where you feel resentful, where you feel relief at the idea of stopping or changing something. Those sensations aren't problems to solve. They're information. But many people have learned to distrust that information. They tell themselves they're being dramatic or ungrateful or unrealistic, so they keep going. What I've seen again and again is this. People don't avoid alignment because they're lazy. They avoid it because they're afraid of disrupting something that works. Even if it doesn't feel good anymore, alignment can feel threatening when your life is built on systems that depend on you staying the same. Jobs, roles, relationships, identities. When you start listening to yourself more honestly, something usually has to shift. Not all at once, not dramatically, but eventually. And that's why alignment often feels more demanding than success. It doesn't let you hide behind performance. One of the most helpful reframes I've learned is this. Alignment is not about making the right decision. It's about reducing the amount of self-betrayal in your life. That's a very different goal. Instead of asking, what should I do next? You might ask, where am I consistently overriding myself? Instead of asking, what's the smartest move? You might ask, what feels unsustainable, even if it looks fine? Those questions don't require immediate answers. They require attention, and attention takes time. Another thing that makes alignment difficult is that it often unfolds in seasons. You don't usually go from misaligned to clear overnight. There's often an in-between phase, a phase where you're no longer who you were, but you're not yet sure who you're becoming. That space can feel uncomfortable. You may feel less confident, less decisive, less certain, but that doesn't mean you're regressing. It often means you're recalibrating. The mistake many people make is trying to rush through that phase. They look for quick clarity. They look for external validation. They look for a clean solution. But alignment doesn't respond well to urgency. It responds to patience and honesty. Sometimes the most aligned thing you can do is stop asking yourself to know. If alignment feels harder than success right now, it may be because you're in a season of reorientation, not collapse, not failure, just a quieter kind of growth. That kind of growth rarely looks impressive while it's happening, but it tends to last. If this resonates, I want to offer something gently. You don't have to figure this out on your own, and you don't have to turn it into a project. I created a simple one-page worksheet to go with conversations like this. It's not a plan, it's not a checklist, it's a quiet place to notice what feels loud, what feels true, and what helps you feel a little more grounded. You can use it slowly. You can come back to it when things feel noisy. You'll find it linked below if it feels supportive. And if not, that's okay too. You don't need to take action today. You don't need to make a decision. Let this land. Alignment doesn't demand urgency, it asks for honesty, and honesty practiced gently over time changes more than force ever could. I'll see you next time.